Okay, this is our follow-up to our HCalory SS2 review video. And if you recall, I liked it. It's a good unit, worked well. But like most of these types of diesel heaters coming right out of the factory, the fuel pump was pretty loud. And I like this unit, and I like this form factor, so I really wanted this to work. So we're going to quiet this thing down. If you remember originally how it sounded, it was pretty loud and a little on the obnoxious side. So let's go over some of the things that we did to quiet it down. First off, we upgraded the fuel pump with a quieter fuel pump. That makes a nice difference. Next, we added a pump dampener on here. That reduces the sound a little bit more, kind of softens up the blow of that piston fuel pump in there. Then we soundproofed it. We went through all the inside, all the surfaces with some sound deadening material to quiet it down even more. So the question is, did it work? Well, let's back up one step. If you remember from that video, one of the issues I had was the actual serviceability of this unit, because all these bolts around here were not bolts, they were rivets. So I actually had to drill out all those rivets, and what I did is I inserted riv nuts in their places, and then this material is so thin that I actually then JB welded them in place to help keep them nice and tight, keep them from turning, and allow us to tighten everything down. So next up, we have to reinstall everything and get everything back up and working. There's one internal modification that I did here, which is simply a 3-inch sleeve. You could probably buy just a 3-inch coupler or a 3-inch piece of internal diameter pipe from Home Depot or wherever for this. And this is just going to slide on this side. So this is the cold air intake side. So we're going to put this in place. Now the reason for that is when we close this all up, then I can move this out a little bit and get it to where it's flush with the case. Well, why would I do that? Well, because on this side, we created another piece for a hose to go on to. So we have our hot air coming out this side, going up into our tent, another hose coming out of the tent, going onto here. This means everything is recirculating, making the unit more efficient. So this is going to improve the performance of the heater and allow us some nicer temperatures inside the tent. So next step is to wedge all this stuff back together. And it's not super easy because I've got extra sound deadening material on here. So it's going to take me a little bit to finagle everything into position, but I'm going to give it a try and see how long this takes me. Now the heater right now, I got everything buttoned up. Very nice. It's serviceable now because I've got screws that I can take it apart. I've got a dampener. I've got a better fuel pump in there. We have an upgraded exhaust on here. All those products will be linked in the description. Now you hear it right now, and you can hear the fuel pump, but it's only in the ignition stage. And it's definitely much louder in the ignition stage than when it's running. I mean, we're not even getting hot air out of this yet. So we're going to let it go. We're going to let it come up to temperature and speed, and then we'll see how loud or how quiet it is. But I can tell you already, it's much quieter than it used to be. Okay, it's just gone into the heating stage and it's on level 4. So just to give you an idea, it's, as you can see, it's about 40 degrees in the garage right now. We're starting to get some nice heat out of it. It's at about 128 degrees Celsius right now. I'm going to warm my hands up. It's a little cold. But now we've got a quieter pump the dampener, the soundproofing, all those things to make it quieter, the upgraded exhaust on here as well. And I'll tell you, I can barely hear that fuel pump. And so I'm probably, you know, here's the microphone right here coming down. I'll get right up next to it. So significant decrease in pump noise. I could probably go a little further, get more expensive soundproofing versus the AgMat stuff or whatever it was that I used. Probably not the best material. So I think I could probably do a little bit better on that if I spent more money. But it's the difference between $10 or $50. And I think at this right here, having this on the ground, running up to our rooftop tent, our heads are going to be 20 feet away from this unit. We're not going to hear it. It's going to be quiet enough that we're not going to hear it. It's not going to bother us while we're trying to sleep. So I think we've nailed it. I think we've now have damn near the perfect Chinese diesel heater based on the HCalory SS2. Now, I did make all these recommendations to HCalory in my review of this unit, and they said that they turned that over to their product development teams to take a look at. And, you know, so maybe in an SS3 or some other unit that we'll see some of these improvements so that we can use a system like this right out of the box. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you got something out of this. Again, all the links are going to be in the description below. And any questions, feel free to put it in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. But until then, yeah, this is Kerry with Trail Traveler. Stay safe out there and warm. We'll see you on the trails. Bye-bye.